This is physics video number 1 in optics, and it has to do with additive colors. So you should know by now, if you've done the additive colors simulation, that the 3 primary colors of light are blue, green, and red. And if you've done your simulation already, then you can see what different mixes you get of those colors. So for instance, if you mix blue and red light, you should get magenta, right? And if you mix red and green, remember this is light, right? It's not pigments. So if you mix red and green light, you should get yellow. And if you mix blue and green, you should get cyan. So those are the 3 combinations that you get with 2 colors in terms of adding light together. Okay, so that's what the simulation shows you. And but I thought I'd show you something kind of interesting today with your iPad and colors. Right, so I have a little color addition going on right here on a screen. I'm going to show you, and I want to see if you can figure out what's going on here. So when you look at the color addition, I only have 2 colors that I'm using right now, okay? And when you look at that color addition that you're seeing, you see you see cyan on one side, you see a strip looks pretty much white in the middle, and then you see a color should look like magenta over on your left. Okay, now I dare any of you to try to do that with 2 colors in the Explore Learning simulation. So the question is if Explore Learning can't do it, and it's supposed to be teaching you real science, how in the world am I doing this right now in my kitchen? So think about that just for a second. You don't have to write your comment in on this one. That part's coming later in the second optics video that's going on later on. You'll see that one, and there is an opportunity for you to write your comment in on that one. But if you do have something you'd like to share about this phenomenon after I explain it just a bit, then you're welcome to in the comments section down below, although you don't have to. So what are we seeing here? Well, believe it or not, I'm just using red and green filters right now, red light and green light. And in front of me, when I look at the screen with my own eyes, I see yellow in the middle, I see green on one side, and I see red on the other side, which is what should happen with just red and just green light. So what's happening here in terms of why you're seeing what you're seeing, and I'm not seeing the same thing with my eyes? Well, what it looks like the iPad is doing is, for whatever reasons, it's adding a little bit of blue to each of these colors. So think about that for a second, right? Green plus a little bit of blue light makes cyan. Yellow plus just a little bit of blue light, right, makes something that looks pretty whitish. And red, when you add a little bit of blue to it, looks magenta. So I don't know why, and maybe that's another good thing that you could write in the comments on your video about this is if you look that up, and probably you'll get the answer quicker than I will, about why the iPad actually does that. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add in another filter here. I'm going to add the blue in. All right, so now what do we see? Well, strangely enough, right, when I put this in here, now I'm seeing a little strip of pretty decent yellow in there. I'm seeing a really nice cyan there, and the green looks more like a true green. Now, to me, the red just looks a little bit more, I don't know, maybe a little deeper in shade than before, but it still doesn't look quite red. And the white looks pretty good. So it may be that the compensation, since I've added in the blue there, isn't being added in quite so much. I'm not sure. But the first one was really peculiar. The one that you're seeing on the screen right now, I have red, blue, and green all added together, 3 colors of light, all on this screen right in front of me, producing a pretty decent white right in the middle. That's just almost exactly what I see with my eyes when I look at it myself. So in summary here, what we're seeing is that, yes, when you use real colors of light and you mix them together, They do produce the same results that Explore Learning does. It's true. But for whatever reason, when you try this color mixing with your iPad, you do get something a little bit different, and it's a good question about why that is. All right, that's optics video number 1. You don't have to comment on this one, but if you have something to add, I'd love to see your comments in the bottom.